Hi guys. I don't even know what to say. Like, I can't even do like a proper intro. Let's just get into it. Like, get ready with me for my first day of flight attendant school. Yeah, so I have been keeping a secret from basically everybody in my entire circle in my entire life. I'm the type of person that likes to definitely move softly and privately, okay, and quietly, girl, all of that. I have been in the works of reinventing my life for 2026. Reinventing, rebranding, whatever you want to say. And today is like one of the first steps that I've been really anticipating, and I'm really excited. So let's get into it. So I'm probably just gonna talk, so I might not be able to show you guys the products. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. So all the products will be listed down in the description box below. If I'm looking over here, it's because I have my tablet hooked up and it's just keeping track of the time for me because I want to get there early because we have to check in and do all these things. So anyway, girl, so your girl has been planning some really big moves. I think I've mentioned like maybe a time or two in one of my vlogs that I have been moving towards reinventing my life. Okay, and I didn't tell anybody but that included like my career. Like, as you guys know, I've been a nurse for, God, I don't even know. When did I graduate nursing school? Like 2010 or 11 or something. Girl, I've been a nurse literally for like 14 years. I've been in the medical field longer because I was a medical assistant prior to nursing school, but I've literally been a nurse for almost 20 years. I've been working at the same hospital for almost 20 years. And honestly, I'm just not happy anymore, and I just don't feel like this is something that I want to continue doing. And so I was like, you know what, girl? I want to do something that will fulfill me, that will be fun, and that I deem as like a very luxurious, soft life. I always wanted to work one of those pink collar jobs. If you don't know what a pink collar job is, girl, a pink collar job is basically a women's job where you're working, but you're working softly, not hard, and you're kind of making the money you want to make, but at your pace, and basically living the soft life, girl. And that's, you guys know I wrote a book on the soft life. That's kind of my thing here. And I wanted something that not only isn't so stressful anymore, because like I said, I've been a nurse for 20 years and I'm just like, honestly, I'm over it, and it's just not something that I want to continue doing. And so I started looking into jobs that are like considered pink collar, that make pretty much more money, because this one makes more money. Because let me tell y'all, I'm not talking about commercial flight attendant, okay? I'm talking about private jet flight attendant. It's called CFA, corporate flight attendant. And CFA school is completely different from commercial school, girl. Do your research and look it up. It's a little bit more lax, and that's what I like. It's a little bit more lax, a little bit more luxurious. It's towards silver service and different things like that. That's the route I'm going. I've actually been going to this school for the past 2 weeks. The courses started out online at first, and to get into this field, girl, it's actually pretty easy if you ask me. So the first 2 weeks was like more online stuff, and let me tell you, like, I have not been to school since nursing school. So navigating classes again, but this was like all online, navigating online classes and like splitting my time between school, lifestyle, getting ready for tests and stuff like that, absorbing information. It was just like, wow. Like, I will say, opening that door was really crazy again, but I managed to do it. So what it is it's 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, it's just kind of like they give it to you 2 weeks before school starts and you have to have it finished. It's just like a bunch of online courses, and that you have to fulfill prior to going into class. And that's just like a bunch of emergency preparedness things and just kind of basic stuff that you should know about an airplane, or that type of airplane, because a private jet airplane, let's be clear, is very different from a commercial airplane. But just stuff that you should know about the airplane. And then you go into the week where you go into the school, like I'm going to, and you do flight simulation, emergency preparedness in person. And I'm talking about, like, girl, jumping out of a plane, well, not jumping out of a real plane, but like jumping out of the flight simulation plane and doing an exercise called ditching, where you're jumping in the water. Yeah, girl, I'm gonna be jumping in the water, but that's not till Wednesday. Technically not my first day because I've been going to school, but it's like my first day in person for online, or for the skills day. So that's kind of a little bit of background on how you get into this. I paid the full amount of tuition, girl. I was like really serious. It's only about, depending on what school you go to, I'm going to Airfax International, and it was, I think it was like $4,995, but then I had to pay extra $1,000 for the business aviation side, because as much as I love luxury things, you guys know I'm like one of those girls. As much as I love luxury things, I'm not very familiar with the different terms in like silver service, period. And silver service is kind of just like white glove service, kind of like fine dining, where to place silverware and different things for guests and things like that. Like, y'all know I'm not too familiar with that, so I needed to learn that aspect. So I ended up taking that class online as well, and I will say I'm very, very interested in that. I love the way it's all centered on luxury and how you would treat guests, how you would even plate food. And y'all know I love to cook, and I love to like arrange my food really, really fancy and stuff. And so there's like this class that we're taking that's like how to plate food to make it look, you know, luxurious and nice. And I'm just so into that. Like, honestly, like I just gravitated towards that so hard. And I just feel like right now I'm making some really good moves, because I just feel really, really good about this, y'all. It's just time for me to shift. When it comes to the emotional aspect of this, girl, like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, I feel like every time I try to go through a shift in my life that is like life-changing and that will level me up in a sense, I feel like I go through things for some reason, girl. For some reason, I feel like the devil just likes to like mess with me or something, honestly. Like, especially when I'm on a journey to like better myself, it never fails that stuff happens to try to make me like not do it, like veer off the course that I've kind of been planning. So like a number of things have been happening to me. I've literally been in a relationship that turned out not to be so good, and I got cheated on. Yeah, I mean, heartbreaking, devastating. Like, if y'all been watching my vlogs, you guys know I actually came from a marriage that was kind of ruined and fragmented our bond from cheating. So the fact that this happened to me again, I'm just like, okay, girl, like, like, okay, maybe y'all don't want me to be with any men's right now. Okay, I get it. Like, because y'all know me, I'm not that girl. I'm not taking that mess and I'm leaving. So yeah, so maybe a relationship is just not in the cards right now. I don't know, but that was like super devastating. Also, my father, you guys know that I moved him from California to Las Vegas to be close to me because he's getting older and he needs like help, supervision, just a lot of things. So it's been kind of nice to keep him close to me and help him. But girl, he fell maybe 2 or 3 months ago and broke his left shoulder. And it has been really hard dealing with that because it was actually his dominant shoulder and his dominant hand. So for a while he couldn't write, he couldn't drive. So I was like driving him all over the place, helping him out, helping him do things, going over his house, cooking, cleaning. I mean, just the whole 9 yards. Going to PT appointments. Like, we've been going to physical therapy for the past month and a half, twice a week. I mean, that was just a lot. My daughter has been stressing me out to the max. Y'all know she lives in Seattle. She goes to college there. She decided to just move into her own place, which I'm very happy about, but that just wasn't the plan. I just feel like the kids never go with the plan, girl. Like, I had it all set up to where she can literally wait until her junior year to like move out. But you know, girl, these kids, they're not gonna go with the plan. They're gonna go with what they want. So I did not want my daughter to move off campus just because I feel like being on campus for 2 years is better. And then like, I wanted her to mainly focus on school. That's why I was working so hard. Like, so she could focus on school and not have to worry about paying for anything. You know, I've been paying for tuition. I've been, you know, working hard to do that for her so she can just focus on school. Because I feel like if she were to get a job and work to pay rent, you kind of get inundated with that. You kind of like, the school starts to fall off because now you have to work hell hours in order to pay for rent, because rent is expensive. Like, you know, everywhere you go, like, I don't care if this was Delaware, like, I feel like rent is expensive everywhere you go. And then you're living in Seattle, it's expensive. So I really wanted her to just be a uni girl and mama help you out until it's really time and you're stable and all that. But that didn't work out, so whatever. I mean, it was just a lot of things going on that I feel like was just trying to sabotage me, period. But I did not let that happen. I decided to still go to school. I signed up for this school, I think like 6 months prior, because I wanted to pay it off cash. So I gave myself some time to like come up with the money and stuff. So I swear I was just getting things left and right thrown at me to literally just stop and abandon the plans. I had a lot of second guesses. I had a lot of events where I was just like, you know what, maybe I should push this back another month. Maybe I should, because they were like, you know, we'll work with you. You can go every single month, like, of the year. Like, we have classes every month. I wanted to push it back. It was just a lot of stuff, but I was like, you know what? I'm ready. Nothing is gonna stop me. And I literally prayed and I sat down and I was like, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going in December, period. And I'm talking about this aspect, this part that, like, you know, I feel like the devil was trying to stop me, because I feel like people just don't realize the emotional aspect of that. Especially the emotional aspect of reinventing your life and shifting and changing something. Like, sometimes you feel like any little thing is a sign not to do it, or it's a sign like to kind of rethink the decision. And that's what I felt like kept happening to me. I kept getting this thing like, you know, maybe you should rethink, maybe you should stop, maybe you should not go. No, girl, no. Keep going. Keep going. Keep marching forward. If you have a plan in your head, just keep going. Everything else is just background noise. Everything else is just temporarily, and that's what I had to tell myself. I had to be like, you know what, girl, everything here is temporary. Like, my new career choice, going to school and learning a new thing, is going to be permanent. You know, it's going to be something that can help me shift forever. So like, no, I'm not holding back, and I'm not freaking stopping. Like, reinventing your life basically at any age, because y'all know well, I don't know if y'all know, but I'll be 38 this year, girl. Well, next year, 2026. February, I'll be 38. So I also just want to make a point to people that, like, well, not a point, because I don't live to make points to people, but I just want to say, girl, also, reinventing your life, you can do that at any age. Like I said, I have not been to school in almost 20 years. So if I can get up and go to school and do a completely different trade, a complete 360 turnaround, because I'm a nurse, a neurology nurse, okay? If I can do a complete turnaround, you can too. So if you don't think that you can do everything, because also I kind of had this feeling that was like, can you continue content? Can you continue, you know, vlogging and things with a career like this, you know? And it is going to be an adjustment. I'm not saying that I am looking for a job, girl, like right now, but eventually I do want to take that scary step into moving into this field. And that means sacrificing my stability a little bit. Like, honestly, I've been a nurse for so long, and like I said, I've been at my current hospital for so long. I really don't know about anything else. I really don't know about how any other companies work. I really don't know kind of, well, about the pay. The pay is like way more than nursing, so that's going to be okay. But then, you know, you have to make room for adjusting, and that scares me, because like I said, I feel like I've been in the same situation, the same hospital, the same pay, the same like expected, like what do you call that, like you're expecting, or you get used to having this stability, you know, and just jumping into a new field and a new career and everything is kind of like the stability part. You're kind of like, okay, like, is this gonna work out? Is this stable? Is this, you know, I'm kind of leaving behind this stable life that I've had for so long, and it's very scary. But I just want to make a point that, girl, you could do that. And at any point you start to feel stagnant in your life, that's when you need to go anyway. Like, y'all know, if y'all been watching my vlogs, while I was married and I decided to leave, I didn't tell anybody what was going on. I just left, and it was the scariest thing in the world. Like, it was the scariest thing, because I had been married for so long. I had that stability. I knew the routine, and it was scary for me to just jump out of nowhere and especially move to a new state that I had never been prior. That was really scary, but I did it, and I feel like that helped me in the long run really, like, have this notion that it's like, you know, I think we forget, like, I don't even know how to explain this, but I'm gonna explain this how I told somebody the other day. I think we forget that as women, we have free will. And I think at that time when I was married, I forgot that I had free will. So I sat there and I took that BS for a long time. Probably longer than I should have. And I always thought, like, you know, I should leave, but how? how am I gonna leave? Like, this is what I know. This is my home. This is my stability. Like, what am I gonna do by myself? Like, I had a job. I had always been a nurse. I never stopped working, but like my money was for me. I hadn't paid bills in such a long time. Like, so that was my stability. That was my thing. And I was genuinely freaked out, girl, to leave. But I think leaving and realizing that I was like, you know what? I don't have to take this anymore. And that applies to this now. And I feel like if I never made that decision, I wouldn't be here where I am now. I'd probably still be accepting that same BS. And it's like, girl, I think we forget as women, we have free will. We can leave. And sometimes we feel like that we can't, but we can. And that applies to this. We have free will, girl. If you don't like your job anymore, you can leave that job. If you don't like the money that you're making anymore, you can make new money. If you just want to shift like me, if you just want to shift, because I'm not even complaining about the money. I feel like I make pretty good money. Like, am I ever gonna get rich being a nurse? Probably not. Am I ever gonna be like, you know, where I wanna be, financially free, so I could be able to like spend the time how I want to spend the time, not clocking in? Am I ever gonna be that? Probably not, nursing. But like, I make pretty good money, and I'm not saying that, you know, like as a nurse I've never made great money, but it's just like, girl, I want to shift, I want to change, and I deserve that. And I feel like you could do that. And I think we forget that if we don't like something, we can change something. It's our life, girl. Like, I literally had to sit in the mirror and be like, bro, this is my life. If I want to leave, if I want to get up, if I don't want to be a nurse anymore, if I don't want to live in Las Vegas anymore, if I don't want to live in this apartment anymore, girl, I can get up and go. So like, and I just want to let people know that that applies to you too. No matter how long you've been somewhere, you've been in a career, you can always get up and go, girl, at any age. If you decide to just start over and live in a whole nother state, you can. I'm trying to go as natural as possible with the makeup because I don't know what to expect our first day. I just knew that I wanted to show up with makeup. I wanted to show up with makeup. I wanted to look my best. And because I feel like also this job is kind of a glamorous job where you're going to be wearing makeup, period. Which is also good for me because you guys know my channel started off as a makeup channel. So that's actually nice. I have tons and tons of makeup and I love beauty. So I love to always look my best, and that's one of the goals, is to always kind of look your best. But when I was taking some of the courses, it was saying that for private jet flight attendant, the makeup is more blending in. The clothes, the makeup, unless you have a uniform, because pretty much private jets, you kind of wear what you want to wear unless you work for a company or something that provides you with uniform, but you pretty much wear what you want to wear. It's very classy, very like, I feel like doing this job also is going to step up my fashion game, because like the private flight attendant fashion is just it, girl. For me, it's so classy, it's so old money situation. This career field seems to be one of those career fields that have not been tainted with a bunch of like, you can't really walk up in there with colored hair, long nails. And I'm not saying like that's not okay, because any self-expression is okay, but they really warned us like, look, if you have tattoos on your face, if you have tattoos visible, if you are walking around with like blue hair, you're probably not gonna get chosen, because this is a job where this business has not kind of been like free radical. It hasn't really been, it doesn't give any room for that at this moment. So like that made me kind of excited too, where it's like very classy and very like poised, very like old money. You know, I'm very much like, I have very much morphed my life into that. And so the makeup, they said, needs to be natural, and it needs to be, you need to, your job is to like blend in with with the jet, period. Like your office is basically a billion-dollar office. So you have to look that way. So I was like, yay. I just feel like choosing this career path and learning these skills and stuff is just gonna not only elevate, like completely elevate and shift my life, but it's just gonna place me in a position where I wanna be. Hey girl, I feel like I don't want a regular life. And I feel like my life has gotten very regular, it's gotten very predictable. And I want a life that's mine. Not regular, not stagnant, like I just feel like I am. I just feel like I'm stagnant and I've been doing the same thing forever. And I want something that feels like I've built. I always have this thing when I manifest, I always say, I will be able to create the life that I want to live. Let that sink in. I will be able to create the life that I want to live. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to create the life that I want to live. I have created a 2026 rebrand my life situation, and I've literally been going through the steps. Anyway, I do want to show y'all this blush though. So this is a blush, well, this is actually a highlighter from Haus Labs in the color Fire Opal. Y'all, I gotta show you this. Look at this. This is actually a highlighter, but I've been seeing people wear it as a blush. Typically when I do a natural look, I go for a blush that is like orange. This is my favorite blush palette by Selassie. I'm gonna put a little bit of this blush on. I really don't think I'm going to need it with that highlighter because I feel like that highlighter can be used as a blush, but just in case, I'm just gonna put down a little bit of this blush so it could be like a conduit. So let's see, because I feel like this is, I don't know, just looking at the swatches of it, like let me show y'all. Look at that. Ooh, girl, that is so pretty. Oh my God, and I didn't want too much of a thing, so let's see. Oh, I think that might be too much, but it's okay. Ooh, whoa. Oh my God, you guys see that? OMG. Okay, I'm glad that I put the orange down as a base because yeah, girl. Yeah, girl, we didn't want too much. We didn't want too much of that, girl, not today. I just feel like, guys, today is the first day of many steps that I'm taking. Like I said, to rebrand myself in 2026, I am literally trying to become the woman that I have been praying for that I want to become. Also, inspire other people who feel like they want to do this as well. Like, and then I'm not saying like get into the aviation business, but I'm saying like just reinvent your life. If you need some type of like inspiration, girl, look at me. I'm almost 40 and I'm literally changing my whole career. Literally my whole career and trying to change my life. So if you feel like you can do it, girl, you most definitely can. I really wanted to do a red lip because when I think of private jet flight attendant, I think of red lip, the red scarf, the cute black tweed outfit, you know? But I feel like when you do red lip, you have to really commit, which means like when it starts to come off, girl, you have to continue to put it on. And I just don't know how the first day of school is gonna go. So for now, we're gonna keep it very mute and very cute. Very simple and very easy to reapply throughout the day. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna make me some coffee. I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna put my clothes on and I'm gonna have a good day. I have 8 hours of the first day, literally, of my life coming up. So, yeah. I'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for understanding. Like, I know this format of video is kind of weird because I didn't do an intro. I didn't do any products. I really didn't do anything. It's just that this is something really big for me and I'm really focused and I just want y'all to know I'm gonna take y'all with me. And I want y'all to know, like I said, girl, if you follow me for soft life content at all, especially on Facebook with the group, you guys know I wrote a book on the soft life. Girl, reinvent your life. Reinvent your life and then reinvent your life. I'm gonna see y'all on the other side. Bye.